Okay.
Okay, so I'm here getting ready for my OPA live stream, and I picked some flowers or cut some branches from our house, and I'm wondering, it's like I want to make it pretty because a lot of people are going to be watching this. So I'm trying to think about where to put this, and once I sit down and I figure out where I'm sitting, we'll be able to tell more. So yeah, it's kind of like trying to set up the studio with the lighting, figuring out where I sit, and so everything back here will be on camera. And it's funny how, I don't know why I'm getting nervous, because I talked to Kathy Anderson, she called, because she's gonna watch, and all of a sudden, just at the moment that she said she was gonna watch, I was like, oh, don't like have too much expectation. All of a sudden, I wasn't nervous at all until I realized that my friends are gonna watch. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna give away secrets in this 45-minute demo. It's just, I guess inspiration or something, But yeah, so I'm just setting this up and making my studio look pretty. And then we'll show you what it looks like when we get on camera and stuff.
You sure you're not going to give at least one secret away?
No, I can't give secrets. I'm a little windblown. It was so windy walking here, so I'll have to maybe comb my hair a little bit and clean up all of this. I'm wearing my interesting clothes. I love this outfit, but you can't paint in it because you just wouldn't be able to. So you can only wear these things you can't paint and be pretty while you're painting.
So what are you going to talk about in your thing?
Well, I'm going to talk about how to use Photoshop. We're going to show that video about how to rework a painting that you already did, and probably just answer lots of questions. I think it's just a way for people to communicate and connect over Zoom and all the Oil Painters of America, members.
Oh, eating.
So Scott went out and got us some lunch, very healthy stuff, which is a joke. It's fried zucchini and these homemade potato chips and these kind of pita sandwiches. So I'm set up for the Zoom and just waiting. It's a lot of waiting when you do these live streams, so you have to hook in about 45 minutes early just to make sure everything's okay. And then I'm waiting now for it to go live at 1 o'clock. And then I talk a little bit, and then I have to wait while they do my video, and then come on in at the end. So we're gonna go film an artist's studio in between. One of our favorite models and a good artist, we're gonna go film her studio, show you guys what another studio in this building is like. Are you gonna take
So again, I'm just keeping an eye on how many attendees are joining us here. It looks like we're probably about there. So with that, I'm going to bring in Susan Adler. Susan Adler's going.
I want to remind everybody that we have the OPA National coming up in Steamboat Springs this year. Don't miss out on that. It's a fantastic opportunity. Besides the ability to see the absolute premium in North American art and networking with the best, you're also going to have a whole lot of fun.
My husband Scott live in North Carolina, and they also travel around the world, and if you see their work, they have exotic and normal, and they're just passionate about painting and passionate about people, and when you see their work, it takes you somewhere else. I actually could say so much I might embarrass her, so I won't, but I'm just going to tell you that there's nobody like her. You are so lucky that you get to be here today and enjoy it, and thank you, Susan.
Oh my God. Well, I have to say I've never heard my name spoken so much. It makes me a little bit awkward. I had talked to one of our close friends, Kathy Anderson, this morning, and she said that her, Nancy Guzik, and Carol Arnold were going to watch, so I wanted to give a shout out to them. And I didn't get nervous until I started talking to Kathy, and she told me, oh my gosh, I can't wait to learn what you're going to tell us how to paint portraits. I said, wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I was, all of a sudden, I got really nervous about this demo. So, anyways, this demo is, supposed to be about 45 minutes. I filmed something that went longer than 45 minutes, so they're cutting it down a little bit. And what I thought, I was like, what do you teach somebody? What do you paint in 45 minutes? It's pretty hard. I'm not a fast painter, so I didn't want to trick anyone and try and do something and be like, oh, paint like this in 45 minutes, when that's not true. So what I decided to do was talk about what a lot of people that I mentor ask us, like, how do you work on backgrounds? How do you fix a painting that you've done from life and elevate it just a tiny bit? And so I thought that could be something I do in a 45-minute lesson. So I had done this painting for a live demo in Scottsdale Art School. And because I talk so much when I teach, and I'm trying to explain so much, that a lot of times my demos are more educational and not so flashy and exciting. So I took this demo and I talked about how cutting it down and using Photoshop. So the beginning of the video, which they're not going to show just because of time, I talk a lot about how I look for inspiration in master painters, how I use Photoshop, and how I actually work on the image of the painting in Photoshop and I change it around. So if you want to see that full video, you can go to my Patreon for $5. I really want to say that Stephanie, Kathy, Nancy, and Carol are blessed angels. They donated a lot to the cause. It's in Europe right now, and they're my heroes. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to that art does change, and you can do a lot with your art. So now we can watch the video.
Okay, I've set the timer for an hour. I do not want to work longer on this than an hour, so. Okay.
You did a good job.
I wanted to get that in there because I really wanted to. So this is during the painting demo. OPA is actually doing the demo, and I've seen it, so I can let it go. Right now, what I'm going to do is show you my art building and go visit Rose.
And I have some of the white pieces that came out a little green around the edges, and I don't know why.
So I'm in the basement, and that's the door right there to the outside too. I come in that way sometimes. There's a flower shop, there's a guitar shop, sculptors, there's a bookmaker right there. It's a little bit of a maze. There's other painters and jewelry makers, and I don't know which door to go in. Oh, this one. Okay. Oh, hey! Hey, thank you for letting me. Hi, Louis. Oh my gosh, thank you for letting me do a studio tour. I always joke with them because you never know what's going on in here.
Yeah, it can be scary.
Well, it's like atelier that is. Look at they're set up for models.
Oh yeah, I can move. Do you want me to move some of this?
No, we want to see what a real art
garbage.
studio. Oh, okay, real garbage. Oh, is this a still life? Who's working on the still life?
Oh, I was trying to set up a still life. This is my new still life stand that Louis
Well,
built.
I love how you've done this. So you're using like plumbing and fabric.
Check this out. This is actually adjustable here, so we can actually
You can take it off and make it
it's
shorter.
PVC
Right.
piping.
No,
So
but this is the best thing. So the light
Yeah.
is coming through this hole, so that it makes this incredibly dramatic spotlight, and this fabric.
we tapered it with this too. Like you put a little bit of because before I used to angle it to
Right.
get a fade, but if we use this tracing paper,
makes a great fade.
it softens the edge so it's not as sharp and it kind of flows
Look at
down.
you've like attached wood to the ceiling so that you can attach those
It's
lights.
extremely high tech.
Yeah, no, we
This
do
is
stuff
intimidating.
like that. We do stuff like that.
That's usually how.
Are you editing? What are you working on?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm editing a video. I'm working on animation where this color will pop up
Wow, look at-
over the work. So I got this brush. One of my viewers sent me this brush. It's quite nice. Look at that. And so
Yeah.
that's how it'll appear. So imagine without the white, and I just have, if I have like just like my normal video playing, I'll say red is opposite of green. So I'm going to have animation of red, and then green.
And so
pop up
this is going to be a great
animated.
video for your YouTube channel?
Yeah, because like you said, remember, because you had told me, you said, like you need to organize information better. So I've been like, I want to have more visuals and just step it up small. Like I
Yeah.
can just put color green, color
Yeah.
red, but it's cool if there's like animation to
Right.
it, and then
It's
like words with it and
Yeah.
stuff. And so yeah, it's
Look at you. You're pretty high tech, though. You're doing it. That's
it's
excellent.
natural. It's just my high intellect. Kind of.
What's his YouTube channel?
Yo, so tell everyone your YouTube channel.
It's just Louis Guidetti, LOUISGUIDETTI, and
So at Louis Guidetti.
Guidetti. And it's
And you have a lot of videos. You have a lot of fun videos showing you painting in here.
They get goofy.
Yeah. You like to play.
Yeah, it's fun. You gotta
Oh
have
my god,
fun.
see, look at what else they've done. Oh my gosh, look at all of these different lights. Just so they have total control. If they only want one light over here, they turn all the rest off. I mean, it's an elaborate setup with all these fabrics and blocking light out. It's what we have to do. A lot of us artists who, work with limitations, we have to set up our, ooh, look at all this tape. So this is where you would have models stand, and then it's to remember where their foot or their chair is.
Yeah, so you have a lot. Actually, this is interesting. So, because we have the easels set up around here. I'm going to be doing a green screen shot, so I moved them back. But normally you have them around here. You have the light hitting the boards, but then you can section
Right.
off the light there, which actually falls down
Wow.
here, and so the model just stands
Yeah.
up here in the light box,
This is
which
just what Sue was talking about.
Yeah,
in
so
the last
he's
video.
made
How
this
to do
this
that in
pipe
Superman.
go all the way across, so that we talked about this in another video, so that you have the light on your canvas, but these fabrics stop the light from hitting the models. Oh, you guys you think about it all. It's great.
highly evolved studio.
What, are those your drawings on the wall over there?
This one is.
Yeah.
Oh,
This portrait.
yeah, I know, that's amazing. Oh, I'm so glad you framed it.
I know.
Yeah. It's just a
Yeah,
junky
to protect it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
That's nice.
Oh, wow. So show us what you're working on. You're just starting the still life, or?
I was setting it up, and then I was like, I don't want to do a still life.
Okay.
So I decided I would do this beachscape.
Oh.
I had taken this photo like 2 years ago.
So you're just working from your iPad?
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
And
And,
what's-
for something simple like this,
And tell us, what are you working on? Did you prepare this canvas or board?
yeah, it was, what was it prepared with? What's it called?
That just gesso is the
Oh, yeah, it's just the
acrylic gesso thing.
acrylic gesso.
Yeah.
A board from like Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
That we get, and then we cut them up, and then we'll gesso them.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes we'll put like a dark wash on it, but this I think it was straight white when I painted on it.
Okay. Well, it's good because then you don't have to worry at all about warping, especially because this board looks like it's about a 1/2 inch thick.
Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't warp
And
it.
so you tend to work, I guess, a lot with bristles.
Yes. Lots of hog hair.
Yeah.
I just like.
So
it
tell
feels
me
like
what's going on here. What's with the paper towel?
This is how we clean our brushes. After we soap them and then wash the paint off, we'll rub them in this conditioner for brushes,
Oh,
and then just take off the excess but leave a little bit on, and then wrap the brush with a paper towel so that it keeps its shape. That way it doesn't
And so it
fray.
feels hard to me. So what you do then is you just dip it in your mineral spirits to loosen it?
Just take it off and then get the dust off.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a conditioner for your brush because
Yeah.
the hog hairs can start to splay and start to
Oh yeah, they can. So yeah, this is just all that we do.
And tell me about your palette.
Oh.
Did you start from the very beginning, using a hand palette?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
So you get used to it. I didn't. So
Yeah.
so you're just used to it.
I'm I have really weak wrists, so it does start to hurt after a while. But I think I am a lot more used to it now. I do prefer to have my palette. Most of the time when I'm painting, I just have it sitting here.
Oh, you mean, oh, okay.
And I go back and forth with my brushes. But if I'm working on something that's like, I don't have to move back and forth as often, I'll just have it up.
And tell me about the colors you're using.
This is kind of, I guess, just like a
What kind of white is that?
titanium.
Okay.
Titanium white. I like titanium white more than I like any of the lead whites because it's whiter to me and it's like creamier.
And what brands do you use?
Let's see. Michael Harding's mostly.
Ooh, you're using the fancy stuff.
But I also use stuff like this, like Van Gogh, which is really cheap.
So it's kind of like you know that white is really important, so you kind of spend more on
Right.
it.
So the more important colors are
Yeah.
more expensive.
So what's that yellow?
I have a cadmium yellow and a yellow ochre. I think the yellow, the cadmium yellow, which is this one, that's just Van Gogh, so really cheap. And then this is more expensive, the yellow ochre. And then I have like an orange, which is a mixture of cadmium red and yellow ochre, some alizarin crimson. I believe this is this cobalt? Yes, cobalt blue, because it makes a really good sky color. It's like a more greener blue.
Yeah, it does look very...
And then this is French ultramarine.
Oh, okay, and so you pre-mix some piles.
And black. Yeah, every black.
Well, it's always fun just to know what other artists are using, because you're so different than me. Like you use a hand palette, you use a brown palette, and you use bristle brushes, which I used to use a lot and got out of the habit, but I'm kind of getting back to it. I like the fact that you are talking about conditioning your brushes.
I'm lazy about it though. Like
Well,
I still
aren't
have
we
some
all?
dirty brushes and dirty brushes. They work just as well too. Just a little bit of mineral spirits and you're good to go.
And so, like, how long do you usually work in a day or at a time?
I try to get 6 hours in a day.
Really? That's long for me.
It is. I mean, most of like the first 3 hours are like my best working hours,
Yeah.
and then the other 3 are just like planning or like I'll switch projects. So I can only work on like a project 3 hours at a time.
Okay, no, I'm so glad that you clarified that, because you lose mental clarity. And the moment you get tired, you start to make mistakes and you start to put down brush strokes that you don't, care about. And it starts to become automatic where you fall asleep. So I'm glad that, you're in your studio for 6 hours, but it's not all applying paint.
Yeah, because it's so mentally taxing.
Yeah.
It's so difficult, then like you just really start to hate the project. Because I used to do that. I used to try to like push myself 6 or more hours a day on just one project, and I realized I can't work like that.
Yeah, it's
makes my work suffer.
counterproductive.
Exactly.
We hear other people talk about how hard work or they work forever, and then you realize that you think you're lazy, and so you want to work hard, and then you realize, well, that doesn't work. It's like,
Right.
why not work smarter instead of longer?
Yeah, and everybody's energy levels are different.
So tell me a little bit more about your studio. Walk me through here. This is kind of fun. I mean, to me, this is like a wonderland because it's such a different environment than mine. You do have to be careful a little bit on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just make sure that you're not stepping on cords and...
It's never clean in here. Oh, it'll be like clean for one day and then it's messy again because we're always like digging through boxes.
And you're
stuff.
starting to have models on Mondays now, so you set up all these easels here.
Yes, we have a like.
Okay, so there's a cord right here that I actually have to lift.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I haven't watched them.
So these are our books and still life objects. Lots of books to kind of keep us inspired. If I want to work on a new project, I'll look through like a Repin book and see like portraits that are
I
like,
love
wow.
seeing. There's French. For some reason, I thought it said fashion.
Yeah, we have
Lawrence
some
Altadima.
French, Italian, Russian painters. It's a lot of fun.
All these costumes or outfits that are just. Oh, I love. You guys use a lot of these like mannequins because your portraits might take a long time, and so you do the fabric without the model. So because that's just the way you have to. Some people might not even know that. Like, no, you might be working weeks and months on like fabrics. So
Right,
I love how you even have wigs.
That one's one of my. These are characters from the video I do.
I don't even know why.
Oh, right. So you guys are going to check out his YouTube, and then you're
Well, Scott was in it too, and I was the guy with the wig and the redneck, and we were drawing and stuff.
Oh, right.
So these are
That's
that's
right,
a neat still life. That looks kind of like a Halloween still life.
It
Yeah,
is.
good.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's sunken in, but yeah, that's like, there's the objects that I had it set up over there. So you
Yeah.
have the still life set up, which I have, obviously you saw
Yeah.
that one over there. And then this is where we do the models, and it's setup's very
Cigarettes.
similar.
Yeah, with a hole on top. Yeah.
Another high tech.
Hey, if it
Track.
works, it works. Oh, so you do your still life against that wall over there.
Yes.
His setup is more.
Got it.
Okay, I just want to say I have to walk
Oh, yeah.
over boxes.
I'm gonna move that.
For your exercises. Oh, so you see how he stands right here and he looks in there and then paints, looks and paints. That is pretty fascinating. I mean, oh, look at that beautiful little drawing. Gosh, this is fun. I always feel like a little voyeuristic when I go into other people's studio. There's me.
It is fun.
There's all his brushes. Look at all these terps and things. You probably don't even know what's in half of these jars anymore.
Probably.
I mean, like, what is
It
that?
doesn't matter, you just
What
mix
is
them
that?
together.
That doesn't look good.
That is actually that's the oiling out medium.
Oh, okay.
It's like poppy oil, walnut, and a little bit of turpentine, just a little bit, and it's nice smooth. which I
Right.
really
So when a
appreciate.
painting kind of sinks in at the end and it's dry, you can oil it up.
Yeah, but I haven't been doing that much
Oh.
recently. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a picture of Lewis. So
That's how I
you
normally-
now you know you want to actually check out his YouTube page. It's a little teaser.
You said I need to take my shirt off.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Tell us about this painting.
It's a gentleman who commissioned me to do a work that he really liked that his cousin owned. And he
Wow.
wanted me to do a rendition of it, so this is
Yeah.
one that I just finished. I'm going to give it to him probably next week. And it's
Wow.
36 inches, 48 inches tall, so.
Gosh, you guys, yeah. No,
3
you
by
guys
4.
do really epic stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. No, there's. I always feel. I feel like I'm getting like an art bomb when I come in here. You know, it's like whoa, art download.
Now, did you say what your Instagram or?
Yeah, I'll put
page
Rose's.
is?
yeah.
Give us your Instagram too.
It's rosedevany.art. Devany spelled Devanny.
Awesome. And what's your Instagram, Lewis?
Louis Guidetti art. It's Louis _Guidetti, Guidetti _ and then art. Underscore's the
And how long have you been in this building?
I've been in here for almost 15.
Okay,
over
so you
15
were
years.
here
It's-
before us.
No, because
No,
when
we've been
I
here longer
remember
than that.
Steve Childs, like the first time I met y'all, Steve Childs, like came and introduced me to y'all when y'all were having the workshops downstairs. When you had the larger studio before they sectioned it off.
Gosh, I didn't think we were here 15 years
We've
yet.
been here, yeah,
You've
longer.
been,
than,
yeah. So
No
y'all
way.
were here.
Oh my God.
I don't know
I've
how
probably
long
been
you've
here about 20 years.
No, oh Scott, don't listen to Scott.
We've been in.
No,
we've been-
we have not, no.
In North Carolina, 26.
No. But it's been a while. I just didn't know it was 15. But
When this used to be your studio here, this was where it was.
Just
walled
this
off,
side,
right?
yeah.
so it was just
People
there.
were afraid to come in. They would look, like first Friday, they'd look in, they'd be like, I'd be like, it's okay. You can come in, they'd see like a mannequin in the corner, they're
I
like,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just office space from what I remember. They had like 2 offices.
Well, gosh, thank you so much. Oh, I love peeking in. I love seeing all your guys' work. I hardly ever get to see them. I'm downstairs, and they're upstairs, so we come in different doors, and so we never know if either of any of us is here. But I'm happy to know that
We'll have
good
to
stuff
go
is
downstairs
happening.
and bother y'all more and ask you
Yeah.
more
That's
questions.
true.
Yeah.
It's always educational going down there and talking. In fact, with all the camera work, remember I was asking you about like cameras, how to take photographs and
Right, yeah,
stuff, and
yeah.
Scott was explaining like all the technical aspects of it that I kind of know instinctively, but I can't articulate them the way that he can still.
It
so.
takes practice. I'm still learning it. I mean, it's just like you just put it out there, and you laugh, and then you get better each time.
Yeah, this is true. You get
So
I love
show the portrait.
I love how
Oh,
look at- I
yeah.
wanted to show there's like a little baby.
You got to see the
up
self-portrait
there.
she just did. Take it on
Okay.
into the light.
You saw the baby.
Yeah, I saw the baby up there. It was caught in the corner of my eye.
Put it in some light.
Oh my gosh, just beautiful.
Yeah, last time I got together with Scott, he taught me a different method of drawing, and so I went home and practiced,
lovely.
and yeah.
Oh, it's so
We made
cool.
a video of it too.
Awesome.
So it'll be coming out some point when I go through.
Where is it gonna be on YouTube?
I'll
Probably.
put it on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
And she still has some work to do on it as well. She wants
Yeah,
to work
I'm
on
gonna
it.
do some more work on it, but
Isn't that? I just love knowing that people can like
Thank you.
see other people's art and it be
Yeah.
free.
exactly.
I absolutely
yeah.
love it.
It's fun.
It's wonderful.
Yay! Well, thank you. Keep editing, keep drawing, keep painting, keep doing what you're doing. Makes me feel good to know that. Oh, look at this little baby miniature. I love how it's on wheels. Why is that little easel on wheels?
I did it for a skit in the video. That
Okay.
was my redneck.
So now you know what you're getting into when you watch his videos.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Try and make them educational, but you know,
Yeah, yeah.
so people can absorb that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why is that on wheels? Okay. All right.
Makes sense. All right, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Really fun.
Yay!
I'll see you.
seeing you. And Scarlett, let me know.
So there's a calligrapher, there's a great painter, Cheryl Powell. There's some stores, that's Trade Street. Okay, back down to my studio because I hope I'm not late. They're doing the OPA video and I have to be there to make sure that I'm there for questions and answers. Okay, storage. Let's see. Ooh, there's the guitar shop. You hear the guitars in my videos a lot.
Okay, thank you. We've got quite a few questions around the palettes.
Okay.
Could you describe the palette? And obviously you referred to a limited palette.
Okay,
So-
well, I will actually show you. There's my palette. I use, I switched about 2.5 years ago. Time is, I don't even know what time is anymore. I switched to a white palette. And these are done by, I think, New Wave. They're glass, but they have white underneath them. And you can even tell that I've kind of raised them a little bit. So I have these little blocks underneath. Because my studio has relatively low ceilings and I use a lot of fluorescence, the glass palette will show a lot of glare. So I really love using a white palette. It's not for everyone. Scott doesn't use a white palette. I tend to, on my paintings, I tend to be very limited palette. If I can get away with it, I will use only 3 colors. Sometimes I'll use 2, especially if I'm doing a portrait, just a simple portrait. I use titanium white. I tend to use, I don't use yellows that much. I was just talking to someone yesterday about the fact that I only use yellow if I really am really forced to. I love yellow, but I feel that my paintings go a little bit warm, so I'm gearing towards cooler versions. So I'll use like cooler reds, cooler browns. So I like to use transparent oxide brown a lot. I like to use quinacridone rose, viridian, and then other times if I need to, I'll add ultramarine blue. In every single video we do, we talk about every single paint we use and all the brushes. Most of the paint I use is by Rembrandt. I've used it ever since school. It's a great paint. And we've tried other paints and we dabbled with other paints, but in general, I would say majority of the paint is by Rembrandt. Rembrandt colors. Oh yeah, if you guys hear guitar music, I'm in an arts building and there's a guitar store right above us. It's kind of artsy, folksy, fun, but just in case, I'm not turning music on, it's above me. And I love using timers. So whenever I feel like I'm in a rut and I'm painting on things for too long and I'm starting to lick, I will take a day or two and I will do a little 45-minute or an hour still life or a little 45-minute or hour head. And it's like a different way of thinking. It's like training your brain, just like fast twitch, slow twitch muscles. It helps me so much. It gets you out of that nitty-gritty detail stuff. And I just knew that I had to give myself a timer for this demo because I could be fiddling with it forever. I could have gone back and started to paint on the nose, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So it really was to stop me from going crazy.
Yes, Chris is asking, can you talk about the thickness of paint in the area of focus as opposed to somewhere other than the focal point?
That's a good question too. Now, someone like me who primarily is a thinner painter, I use washes, I like to have scratchiness, I like to have things show through. I build up my thickness as I go. So in general, in the beginning of the paintings, I'm just trying to get drawing value correct. So a lot of it is scumbling it in, being pretty thin. towards the end of paintings is when I have the confidence to mix up a stroke and leave it and not smooth it out. So I'm leading people to an area, and definitely a thick stroke catches light. So if you think it has ridges, so the ridges are going to catch the light, so the eye is going to go hit that. And so for me, I tend to have majority of my thicker strokes where I want people to look. So on this portrait, you know, remember I had kind of thicker strokes up in the upper left-hand corner, and then went through the hair and then went down. So it was like a zigzag. People who are naturally thick, like my husband Scott, can paint thick everywhere. It's not natural for me, so I limit my thickness to where I want people to look, and I lead people through with that juicy strokes.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions around the background. So somebody's asking, do you allow your wash to show through on many of your paintings? And that's come up a couple of times.
Well, I hope.
People asking about the surface. What surface are you using? Panel, canvas?
This canvas is oil primed Centurion. I love it because Scott loves it too. It's a very economical, just all around great canvas. I mean, we buy it from Jerry's Artorama. This particular canvas was adhered to a board. So you know how you can get it already on like a cardboard. And so it was a 16 by 20 board, but it was easy enough for me just to cut it down to 11 by 14, which is also why it's nice. If I was to have used like one of those Diabond or those, you know, really thick boards, I mean, I would have had to have Scott use a power tool. So oil primed Centurion canvas, and I love it. You know, for washes, for me, the ultimate, and that's why I love like Stephanie, Kathy, and Nancy's paintings. You know, it's kind of like you see like the layers, the first initial wash, the second strokes, the third strokes. It's like big, medium, medium, small. You get to see all of the variety. So that is something I strive for. It doesn't always work. Sometimes through overpainting or changing your mind, paintings can get a little bit opaque. I always hope, like a sergeant or something, I always hope to see some of the original wash. And so, yeah, it's kind of like, I hope for it. It doesn't always necessarily work.
Do you use it to mix paint, or
do I use it to mix paint? Rarely. What I do use my fan brush is, like, say I take a little bit of like a dark blue or a little bit of a dark brown and a little bit of Gamsol, just a teensy bit, and I will kind of maybe once or twice on my palette kind of do a slide through. So what that means is that if you only do the slide through like once or twice, you still have blue and brown separate on the fan brush, so that when you put it on the background, you see the brown and blue. It's not over mixed. Now, if I take my fan brush and I dip and I dip and I mix, what's going to happen? It's going to turn into mud. So when I'm doing washes or when I'm doing big areas, I like to see a little bit of those ribbons of color. And how do you get that without over mixing? And you have to just go. It's like a landing a plane. You know, you just kind of go through your palette and you try and do it like once, and you scoop up and then you lay it down.
Susan, do you want to mention your workshops in France?
Oh yeah, no. I know Julie's out there. Hi, Julie. We've been waiting for like 2 years to go to this, so Scott and I are just chomping at the bit. Very excited, and it's going to be pretty magical because when you're staying and you're living and eating together, you get bonded. So we're going to all meet in Provence, France. So this is workshopsinfrance.com.
When does it happen?
Our class starts May 7th, and we're going to be in Paris before that and stuff. But it's like 10 days. So we are going to go to towns and paint street scenes, and we're going to have models and, you know, paint courtyards and probably do some still lifes outside. Scott and I will both be painting. I'm going to be doing like a real class because that's what I like to do. I like to make sure everybody's on the same page. I also know that this is a once in a lifetime trip for people, and not everybody is comfortable painting outdoors. So I'm like the baby stepper. Like, we're going to make everything easy, and I'm going to really be teaching. Scott is going to be painting in the vicinity, but he's going to be working on probably just bigger paintings, and if people want to paint along with him, great.
We'll see you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Stephanie is so nice.
You did it.
I did do it.
You're such a good speaker.
It's so weird just talking to your own face.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I'm like talking to my own face. Like, now, do you know what you're doing?
I know when I went around to the front to see a little bit of the screen, it is funny because it's like you're
Yeah.
just talking to yourself.
You're so sweet, Kathy and Nancy. It was funny too because Stephanie had messaged me and she says, "How did you know to put purple back there?" And that's the same question with Kathy and Nancy.
They probably
How did
talked
you know
about
to
it,
put violet back there?
Yeah. Well, they're complementary colors. They work. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
It's so funny.